How likely is significant involvement of external parties in Hamas-Israel war? While Israel-Palestine conflict is old and doesn't need an involvement of third parties for an escalation, it can be noticed that Israel's response could have been expected from the start to involve significant collateral damage, potentially preventing or reversing normalization of relations between Israel and Arab states. Furthermore, one potential explanation for Israel's intelligence failure is an external party with extensive experience in covert operations providing advice to Hamas. Considering this, how likely is a significant involvement of an external third party beyond regular assistance provided to Palestinians by sympathetic groups? And are there such external parties or alliances thereof that would potentially have a motivation to see an end to thawing of relations between Israel and Arab states, have some leverage in Palestine and potentially have sufficient resources and experience to assist with planning the operation without detection by Israel and possibly other relevant motives? Capabilities? Significant U.S. involvement in funding the IDF and running cover for Israel in international bodies is a given. Hezbollah might use the opportunity to launch its own attacks. Iran will keep backing both with weapons. And maybe there is an outside chance of involvement in the form of drones or medium-range missiles. If the IDF is having a hard enough time, I think another wildcard is Syria. With the civil war pretty much over, Assad might make a move on the Golan Heights. But again, that depends on how much IDF resources are tied up. It's wild the amount of people trying to justify attacking a music festival like it wasn't just a flat-out terrorist attack. As others have said, there's very little reason for foreign actors to get involved here. This is just going to cause a ton of civilian casualties because Hamas has no incentive to avoid collateral damage. And the Israeli government can't really avoid it in this sort of engagement. Similar question. Why don't other Arab countries want to take in any Palestinians? Seems kind of unusual. Not likely. Iran doesn't have the force projection to get involved, which would be the only type of foreign involvement that attempts to insert itself at the moment. Russia is too preoccupied with Ukraine to involve itself. What's most likely going to occur is a slaughtering of Palestinians, unfortunately. Given the tactics used by Hamas, specifically the use of drones to engage with tanks, I think it's at least plausible if not likely that Russia has provided some level of training or support. The only two countries with practice on this kind of tactic are Russia and Ukraine, and Hamas was able to effectively use these tactics in a surprise attack. That implies some level of planning and training. Just want to make a point that these are real humans, real people, that we're discussing, who are living or currently dying through hell. These are not just elusive groups. After so many years of existence, why are we still so ignorant and hateful towards each other? All of the warring and bombing hurts more than it helps. Any one of us could have been part of these groups of people. We got lucky enough to be born somewhere else in the world. Unlikely. Although from what we're seeing now, if it's true that Iran helped plan the attack, I'm sorry, but it's probably time for war with Iran. I doubt the US will get involved. But it's time for Israel to bomb Iran to ashes. 100. Hamas spokesman has confirmed Iran is their chief financial supply source. Taliban are asking for passage to join fight in Israel. And it has been discovered that many of the weapons used by Hamas are the same ones we left behind in Afghanistan. I'm getting this is the WWLL thing people have spoken about for years. WWLL, the Holy War. Honestly, I think nothing new comes about. Those folks have hated each other for generations. No new allies exist. Nobody wants to get involved beyond prayers and sending bullets. It's a quagmire that even Russia would avoid. IDF will massacre some folks in response to their own citizens getting killed, and we're all back to 1990. Israel has every right to attack Iran after wiping out Hamas for its role in this, and the US needs to back them up with a heavy dose of weapons. Iran is also helping Russia in its war on Ukraine. This theocratic fascist regime in Iran needs to be replaced ASAP. Pretty much zero. The West happily enables Israeli apartheid and genocide of Palestinian peoples. US Fed printers continue to print money that our grandkids will suffer for, so the US will keep sending cash to Iran, Israel, and anyone else the idiots think will keep war alive. Oh, shit, forgot about Ukraine for just a min. Ukraine was a war against Putin. Now US is sending hundreds of billions for long-term development. It's all a con and we are the stupid. Since Biden decided to negotiate with terrorists and pay to get hostages returned, we'll definitely be involved. Wonder what the going price will. Do you think we've already paid Hamas with aid money?